Urgent bombshell. Victor de Aldama delivers to the National Court the envelope with the PDVSA oil quotas worth $250 million that corner Pedro Sánchez. Let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez, and I dare say this is one of the most important news stories of the year. And we'll see if it's even one of the most important of Pedro Sánchez's government term. The businessman Victor de Aldama has already handed over the envelope with the oil quotas from PDVSA worth $250 million. Which would have been used to finance the Socialist International presided over by Pedro Sánchez and to finance Pedro Sánchez's own Socialist Party. Pay close attention to this information, it's a real bombshell. Some of you have been asking me for a while now, what's going on with the envelope? Aldama presents the envelope, well, he has presented it. And we have all the latest information and we're going to share it on screen, as always, so you can follow along from home. But of course, this could be a turning point, a milestone for Pedro Sánchez, for Pedro Sánchez's government, and it could mean his downfall. And not only for Pedro Sánchez, but also for the former Prime Minister, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. And we're going to share this breaking news on screen. Aldama presents the envelope with the $250 million from PDVSA's oil quotas at the National Court. It should be noted that Aldama has presented the envelope to the judge investigating the alleged illegal financing of the Socialist Party. As we first reported here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez and Libertad Digital. More than a year ago, Aldama received an envelope with PDVSA's oil quotas to finance the Socialist International, and also Pedro Sánchez's PSOE. After the visit of Nicolás Maduro's then number 2 in Venezuela, Delcy Rodríguez, in January 2020, the former Prime Minister, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, allegedly channeled funds from Venezuela using bank accounts in Russia through front men. Well, the legal sources we have consulted state that Aldama delivered the envelope. Last week, at the National Court, Aldama appeared before Judge Ismael Moreno, accompanied by his lawyer, José Antonio Choclán. The businessman testified for about an hour before the judge and an anti-corruption prosecutor who was also present. In his appearance, he made direct reference to the contents of the envelope and its connections. Pay close attention to what might come out of that statement, I'm warning you. The same sources consulted do not rule out that after Aldama's statement and the presentation of the envelope with the PDVSA quotas, important and immediate consequences could occur in the investigation. The case is still secret. It is worth noting that there was a previous attempt by Aldama to deliver the envelope to Judge Moreno. However, the information about the businessman's court summons for the first week of March was leaked to the media, and the delivery was postponed for security reasons. Sources close to Aldama, consulted a month ago by Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez and Libertad Digital, already told us that the businessman intended to continue his cooperation with the justice system until the end. For this reason, he planned to hand over the envelope with the PDVSA oil quotas and testify in court before it began. And that's how it happened. Once again, we nailed it here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez. However, Aldama's safety had to be guaranteed and the same judicial consideration had to be given in the ongoing cases that implicate him. Later, we're going to talk about Aldama's security because I'm going to tell you something very serious about it. It should be noted that in his recent statement before the judge of the National Court investigating the hydrocarbon scheme, the anti-corruption prosecutor asked Aldama about the envelope and he confirmed that it had been given to him by Delcy Rodríguez. And here you have the famous envelope we've already talked about at length on numerous occasions here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez, and in which you can see it clearly. Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Ministry of Popular Power for Petroleum, Petróleos de Venezuela, S.A., PDVSA. With the PDVSA logo here and in the sender. Manuel Quevedo Fernández, Minister of Popular Power for Petroleum, President of Petróleos de Venezuela, S.A., PDVSA. And recipient Delcy Eloína Rodríguez Gómez, that is Delcy Rodríguez, then Executive Vice President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Down here you could see Victor Gonzalez, a stamp of Victor Gonzalez, which, as I was saying, could correspond to Victor Gonzalo de Aldama. And the date, February 4th, 2020, after the visit of Delcy Rodriguez, okay? This was the famous envelope that, as we say, is now in the hands of the National Court. And simply, since memories are very fragile, we have to say that we reported all of this exclusively on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez and on Libertad Digital. Specifically, we revealed in November 2024 that Victor de Aldama had sensitive information that pointed to the alleged illegal financing of the organization of the Socialist International, which made Pedro Sánchez its president. Pedro Sánchez, November 2022, with José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero and Rodríguez Funds. Víctor González Rodríguez, Dueto González, who became president, the same Rodríguez. González, the Socialist International, at the end of 2022 by acclamation, a position he assumed, he said, with the spirit Pérez. And finally, it has become democracy. And finally, the main Bolivarian main causes democracy. It has become the main causes of national and international politics. It should be noted that Sánchez was appointed president of this organization for the next 4 years without the need for a vote, since his candidacy was the only one running for the position. Bolivariana is now a key reason for the Bolivarian presidency, which has become a leading democracy. The presidency, which is what has turned the presidency into causes of violence, alleged illegal financing of that organization to make Pedro Sánchez president of the Socialist International. That's the envelope. The oil quotas. The Bolivarian Republic has become one of the main causes in this case. It has become one of the main causes of the presidency, of violence, of democracy. Main causes of democracy. Maduro, through José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, has made it one of the main presidencies. The Bolivarian Republic, main causes of democracy. Bolivarian causes became the main causes of the republic and democracy during the presidency. Regarding the funds for the Socialist International with Maduro, the controversial visit of his number 2, Delcy Rodriguez, to Spain took place in January 2020, which has become one of the main ones for Transport Minister José Luis Ábalos. This alleged financing has become one of the main issues of the presidency, one of the main issues of democracy. The presidency, main violence, has become one of the main issues of violence in democracy. Con cupos de petróleo, esos PDVSA a quotas. Aldama would also have information about an alleged bank account of Zapatero in Russia that was supposedly used to send funds from Venezuela in this alleged illegal financing operation of the Socialist International. This is the information that, as I said, we revealed more than a year ago on Libertad Digital in Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez, and of course later everyone jumped on the bandwagon, but well, since no one is going to remember it, we'll remind them ourselves, right? We were the ones who gave that exclusive, and I had to mention the issue of security to you. Right now, Aldama is facing a very serious security problem. We have to remember that Aldama had already reported in recent months that he had received direct death threats. And obviously the fact that he handed over the envelope with the PDVSA oil quotas and that he told everything, absolutely everything in that situation. His statement before Judge Moreno puts him in a very dangerous situation, and of course Aldama needs protection. What is the problem here? Well, the public protection the Ministry of the Interior could provide would be the National Police or the Guardia Civil. And of course, Aldama is reluctant to have the Ministry of the Interior be the one to protect him, because in the end it's like letting the fox guard the henhouse. And the other option would be private security, but of course the state can't pay for that. Private security, and the businessman Victor Aldama has his bank accounts frozen, so he can't pay for it himself. Right now we can say that Aldama is in a very serious, very worrying situation because, as I said, those death threats he has received have already been reported publicly. And of course now Victor Aldama needs to be protected and given the security and protection that is necessary. Because I know for a fact that in that statement Victor de Aldama has said some very important things. And this is going to have some very direct consequences and implications in Moncloa, in the Socialist Party for Pedro Sánchez and also for José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. So now we have to protect Victor de Aldama. Any updates on the envelope or Aldama will be shared here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez. That's all for this edition. Thank you from Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez. I hope you liked this very relevant, very urgent breaking news that I just shared with you. This is highly anticipated news we've all been waiting for, and the day has finally come after many of your questions. Victor de Aldama has already presented in court that highly compromising envelope with all the information that corners Pedro Sanchez's government and the Socialist Party. You know you can become members like the chosen ones for under €3 a month or supreme members for under €7 a month. You can also make contributions via mobile transfer at 627556370. 627556370. The most important thing, as I always tell you, is that this information reaches everyone because information is power. See you soon.